Hi.
Hi.
I don't even know how to start this.
No,
This is going to be different for us. So we just kind of wanted to do something as kind of an update or
Yeah, an
kind of a
update.
summary of what happened in the past month, like why we've been gone.
a lot of stuff.
It's going to be a little bit dated because when we were filming Resident Evil, near the end of it is kind of basically when it happened. So we're still
And I was working, so...
yeah, we still have like 6 or 7 days of that stuff backlogged, so everything's going to be kind of
And we just did,
Donkey Kong.
yeah, Donkey Kong, so...
I know in Donkey Kong we say we did it before this, we lied. So we're kind of...
It's still gonna be
yeah,
posted
we're
before
outing
this.
ourselves a little bit. Also, sorry for the beard. I know. It's
I
kinda
hate it so much.
She doesn't like it.
No.
Since I haven't had to work, I've been just...
You also
it's
kind of got a little...
a tiny bit. I have stupid amounts of hair. I normally don't have this much hair, but I've just been enjoying it. It's nice and warm. And fuzzy.
So, I don't know if any of you guys have heard anything of the Fort McMurray fire. We live in Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada.
Beginning of May. I'm not even sure technically what day it started or if...
I think May 2nd.
Well, that was the day that it started burning the city down.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Yeah, it started kind of south of the city and worked its way northeast.
And how big would you say the city is to begin with?
I think the last population numbers they'd done was around 100,000, and it's not a huge city.
But it's obvious. And if you guys don't know, Fort McMurray is for the oil sands.
Yeah, this is like the main city nearby, so we're kind of infamous for.
We live
stuff
around forests, so
yeah, we're surrounded by boreal forest. Yeah, the fire worked its way towards the city, and we could see the smoke clouds, and we knew about it like the day before.
And there was on the news, and they were saying it was like 5 kilometers to hitting the city.
Yeah.
Nobody was really concerned. I think you said there was about 30 firefighters.
Yeah, we didn't have many in town. Apparently,
it's not a very big city, but it's also like there's not a lot for.
Yeah, it's not.
There's
really,
one hospital.
It's mostly a work city, like
Yeah.
lots of families here and stuff for that, but
there's lots of fly in, fly out, and they usually stay in the camps.
out on site. So the fire had reached one of the trailer parks, kind of on the south side, up at the top of the hill.
There's only one entrance into the city, so
yeah, there's one main highway that comes in. So
keep that in mind.
It actually hit an area that was right off that main highway, along with another area that's kind of on the same section of hill, because the city's kind of mostly situated in a valley, and we're kind of at the meeting point of 3 different rivers, and it had hit the one trailer park and basically started burning it to the ground. The one after, like, you were working, I was home, and Eric was actually over. That's when we were filming Resident Evil.
So I guess you should kind of start from.
Yeah, I don't even really know.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
There's
so
a lot that happened.
Yeah, June 2nd is when what happened on June or not June, sorry, May 2nd. There was a fire in like Parsons Creek, I guess.
One of the areas. Oh right, yeah, because that's what
that
it was.
That was the day before everything happened.
The fire was still south of the city, and there was actually a small brush fire that was northwest of the city on the other end.
It was actually there was 2. There was one.
Well, so I mean, there's the 2 fires.
Yeah, in Avisan, which is south of the city, and the one in Parsons Creek, which is north, so completely on the other side of the city.
Yeah, we're kind of flanked by 2 of them. They were kind of more concerned about the north one, and they evacuated one of the business kind of strip mall type areas because they weren't too sure if the fire was going to make its way down the hill and burn down those buildings. But
so
they sent most of their team up there to deal with that one. They kind of left the one on the south.
We'll post some pictures of what I could have got.
She was
obviously
taking
we cannot post pictures of other people's pictures, but we have
some of our own.
Yeah, so we'll be posting that as
they're going on during this.
Yeah,
you've seen them. So yeah, because you were taking pictures at work. I was at home, and Eric was here.
So this is June 3rd now. We'll just start from June 3rd. Yes, I keep saying June for some reason.
That was last week.
Yes, May 3rd.
So Eric was over that night, and we were recording.
And he slept over.
Yeah, he stayed over that night, and we woke up in the morning. I brought you to work.
Yeah, it worked at 8 o'clock in the morning, so
We were up around then, and me and
And-
Eric came home and we started recording a little bit more. And I think we only got 2 done, so it was about 10:30 or 9:30 or so.
And my work is north of the city, the farthest north you can before it's going out to site.
Yeah, the last little industrial park
Yeah.
area.
So I could see
Both fires.
lots of smoke. We'll post the pictures of
It's
what
a
I can
massive
see.
cloud.
Yeah, if all you see is massive cloud, and
Um,
we weren't sure what was going on at first.
Nobody really kind of took it very seriously at first because everybody kind of just thought it was going to go away. But we were here and our roommate came home and she asked me to give her a ride to her truck because she'd left it downtown because she was out the night before, because she was saying she had to pack and get out of the city like right now. So Eric came with me, and on the way down we could see
What
the
I was
clouds.
seeing, what the clouds that I was seeing.
And I have a couple pictures too in my phone that I'll be putting in this too. And I don't know if we got one when it was south of the city.
I have one the day before June or May 2nd.
Yeah.
I keep saying June. Sorry.
The fire that first day had burned down, like it hit one of the trailer parks on the south end, and it hit a gas station right next to it and blew that up. That trailer park just burnt right down. It hit actually it didn't hit Avison until the next day, I don't think. It was just that trailer park that first day, I thought. Or no, it was all at once. It was all the same day.
Yeah, May 3rd. It was all the same day, and
It burned the trailer park down.
So after you got back from
Oh yeah,
getting her truck, we should probably go.
We came home. We could see this giant black cloud like south on one of the rivers, like just down when we were crossing the bridge. And
I'm
Eric,
still at work.
Yeah, she's still at work, obviously, because you just started. Eric was like, I'm gonna grab my stuff. Like I have to go home and pack. Like this just seems really serious. So we got home and he got his stuff.
Was
and
there
we left.
anything voluntary or mandatory evacuations? I think they were starting
they'd
to.
evacuated a couple parts south. A little while after that, Absand, the other areas.
We live in Timberley, so we're pretty.
We're kind of on the west end, more or less. It hit Absand and started burning down the south half of that, and people were evacuating down. Also, the one exit from that area to get down to the main highway. Thousands of people stuck in traffic, just crawling along. And we were at home, or I was at home rather. Eric
You
had
were
already
looking
left. I was watching the news. That's all I did for like 4 hours.
And you were texting me while I was at work,
giving
and
her updates.
yeah, giving me updates of all this stuff happening, and I'm like, holy fuck! I'm like shaking. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like
it didn't even really seem real. Like I was watching videos of from downtown looking up towards the hill, like on Absand, and you could just see the hill was burning.
It was on the
And-
news in Edmonton. My parents live in Edmonton, and at first I told my mom, like, you know, some of the city's starting to burn down. Like, there's some things going on. She says, "Oh, that's what happens when you live in the bush." I'm like,
Yeah, well, it's
like-
it's boreal forest. Like it's basically meant to burn down in order to like
it's
restart. Like that's just how the forest
Yeah.
works. So I was watching the news, and I think it must have been before that, or it was around that time that the fire actually jumped the river south of one of the
well, things started going mandatory.
they were
Beacon Hill and Abbotsford went
Gregoire.
mandatory. Yeah, and Gregoire, they all went mandatory, and
downtown went mandatory evac.
my work was hearing this, and they had to. Some of them had to leave, and because they, you know, lived in
family
those. Yeah, they
houses.
lived in those areas, so they had to leave. And I'm like, well, you know, I guess
She had to stay because our place is fine. Like
Yeah.
it's in a kind of it's away from most of the burning.
So our work was kind of slowing down a bit because we, you know, some people were leaving. So and the one guy he says, oh, that he lives in Abbotsford, he had to leave like right away, and I guess his house is burning down or something.
He
So
wasn't getting back in there. It was one way
no,
traffic down the hill.
and the police have it all blocked off, so you cannot go up and grab your things.
So a lot of people couldn't even get.
Yeah, a lot of people could not go home and grab their animals or their things. They just had to go up north to the camps.
So the fire jumped the river kind of down by where the golf course is, and the way the city is the first area that got hit is kind of up on the hill in the main entrance, and then it kind of goes down into a valley, and all the downtown is there, and there's a bridge that goes across, and it goes up a hill, and that's where the Thickwood and Timberley areas are. So it's kind of like a basin, like the whole city's kind of spread out. So the fire had jumped the river south of Thickwood by the golf course and had started burning this big section of Greenbelt there.
And they were voluntary.
Yeah, they went voluntary evacuation for there, and my mom and my dad have a house there.
But your
And
dad was at work.
My dad was kind of trying to calm my mom down because she was home. Was just saying, not
It
to
was
worry.
voluntary, and
She wasn't sure really, but she started packing some stuff just in case.
And then it just went mandatory, and police are going door to door to every
Telling
house.
people to get out.
Yeah.
So I left her alone.
And they're just saying to go north, go north.
Yeah, they're like head for the camps.
Some people were able to go south after the fire kind of calmed, like not really calmed down, but
it actually jumped the highway, and they had to cut off that section. Nobody was able to go south, which is our only like big exit.
Yeah, there's only exit out of the city. So to go north, you can't leave north.
There's
without
oil
going
sands.
Yeah.
There's one other like little city, but there's not much past
And
there.
I'm still at work.
Yeah, so the fire jumped the river. It started burning that section. It spread over into another area just by...
Thickwood went mandatory at the time.
It hit Wood Buffalo, and it started burning down a couple townhouses there.
And I was
that area went evac.
At first I told you that, if your mama has to evacuate, I want to leave work and come help. But I guess they have it blocked off that you cannot go back.
There's no way in.
You cannot go home, and this is
Middle of the day.
Tuesday. So yeah, in the middle of the day. So everyone's at work.
So it kept happening like almost like dominoes. Like one part of the city it was evac, then the next one after that was following.
Of Super 8 hotel
that was one of the first places to go technically.
And you said the gas station, I think in Amsterdam went.
No, it was the one by the trailer park.
Yeah, it exploded. And he's texting me these details. He's watching on the news, and I'm just like at work freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I can't even work. Like, this is scary. The whole city's burning. Like,
yeah. So I was still home, and I kind of started grabbing some stuff because I wasn't sure. Like, our area was the last one to even be announced, and it wasn't even announced for our area. It just turned into the whole city is mandatory evacuation. Like, everybody get out.
The whole city.
So I was home, and thankfully, like, I was watching for a while, so I was
once
kind of packing
Thickwood went mandatory, you didn't want to text your mom.
Yeah, no, I left her alone because I didn't want to
she was at home alone with her 2 dogs. Your dad was at work.
Yeah.
And so we didn't want to text her to,
I wanted her to focus on getting out. So when our area went mandatory evac, like I had kind of a bunch of our stuff ready to go.
Lots of people thought it was only going to be like a couple of hours. So
yeah, like
actually lots of people didn't even grab lots of things.
Yeah, some people just basically thought it was just get out for now and come back tomorrow. But
yeah,
like I had enough time. I packed up our computers. I didn't bring our TVs or anything. I brought a big bin full of clothes, and I brought a bunch of food because I didn't even know where we were going at first.
Yeah, no, actually a lot of people didn't know where they're going, even your mom.
Yeah.
Like lots of people didn't know where they're going.
I had to load up the cats.
Your mom was gonna go to your dad's cousin's place up in Timberley, not that far from our place.
He's a couple blocks away from us. She was heading there, and he texted her and he was like, hey, he's like, our area just went mandatory evac too. So
yeah, my mom lives in Edmonton. She was the one who texted me saying the whole city is mandatory.
And I was at home, and like at that time the update was still just saying the other areas, like our area was still
it just said nothing about Timberley. So.
And then like 2 minutes later it was the update, like everybody has
my
to
mom is texting me like crazy because she's in Edmonton watching the news. It was on like news, like live, and she was wondering exactly where my work is and everything. And I had to tell my boss, like, we gotta leave, and he said that he'll check the news and stuff, like. So. And he said, we could leave if we want, and.
Yeah, like it was really hard to take it serious at first because
they didn't take it really
seriously.
Yeah, like they didn't really take it seriously at first, which it's obviously their choice.
Yeah.
But we decided that people were leaving south at the time, and
the option was go north and sit in traffic for 10 hours to try and get to one of the camps.
And not everyone was full on gas. Everyone was trying to get gas. The city was running out of gas.
They had to shut down the pumps because of the embers. They didn't want a gas station exploding in town.
So people are trying to get gas in the meantime, and all the traffic going north is it takes about 15 minutes to get to one of the biggest oil sands.
Yeah, the closest one's not far away.
Yeah, it's about 15 minutes away from the city. And the only way to get to the oil sands is by going north, only one road.
And when I went because I'll kind of backtracking a tiny bit. I had to load up the cats, so I got Mosh out first in the truck, and she was okay. She was just crying. I brought Caroline out, and as soon as she saw her bed, she jumped into it, burrowed under the blanket, and just hid like she was.
And
sad.
you're trying to hurry up.
Yeah, I'm trying to hurry because it's
You
everybody
had
has
to come
get out.
pick me up, and
So,
then we didn't know where we were going.
I went to grab Skinny, and I brought him outside, and I think he knew something was wrong, and he kind of panicked and kind of attacked me and jumped down and went back inside. So I just grabbed Chunky and brought him outside, and he went in the truck fine. Like he's a truck buddy anyways. He loves being outside. So I had to come back in and get Skinny, and he'd run into into our bedroom and under the bed, and I had to flip the
You
mattress.
said he went feral.
Yeah, he went feral. Like I had to flip the mattress up in the box spring, and he was yowling like harder than he ever has, and just the way our bed is, like it's up against the wall. So when I had the mattress and box spring flipped up, he kept running back and forth. So I had to keep walking down around both sides, and I was getting frustrated with him, and he knew that, and he thought he was basically going to get murdered. So he was like, his tail was poofed out.
I
like,
said if I was
huge.
there, I would have gotten
Yeah,
mad at
you
you and
would've.
tell you to calm him
Well,
down.
I was trying to
like-
hurry because the other 3 cats were out in the truck.
And you're getting mad at him, and he's
Yeah,
freaking out.
so
If
he
I was
ran-
there, man.
He tried, like I closed the bedroom door, so he tried running for that, and he realized he was trapped and ran into the bathroom, and I followed him in. This is also, we only have 1 kennel.
Yeah,
So
1 kennel.
I got the other 3 out without it, but I knew he was going to need it. So I brought the kennel into the bathroom, and he panicked and was
I'm surprised there's no scratches.
Yeah,
on the
I was
walls.
expecting the wall to be torn up. Like he was
There's
jumping.
shit all over the floor, though.
Yeah, he was jumping all over the counter and up the door frame. Just did not want to get in that kennel. But I ended up kind of catching him, like he tore open underneath my finger, like between 2 of my.
And I think your
Knuckles.
wrist or something.
Yeah, my
It's
wrist.
not that bad now
No,
because it's been a month.
it's healed now, but I had a pretty big gouge.
And
right
I don't
there.
know about your leg. I don't know if that was from
No,
him.
it was after. But I got him in, got him out. So it normally takes 9 minutes to drive down to her work from our place. And with the amount of traffic that was going down the hill, it took me a little over 2 hours.
And you said that the oncoming and
Yeah, there's
traffic.
yeah, there's the 2, like 3 lanes going down, 3 lanes coming up, and they changed it so every lane was going down. Like,
Nobody could go back up.
Well, you could if you went off onto one of the side streets, but the whole flow of traffic was go down to the hill. So the last set of lights, they had police that were just like, okay, these lanes come, okay, you guys stop, these ones come, like just alternating lanes to get everybody down.
Yeah, it took that long, and I
Yeah.
was at work freaking out. My hands are shaking.
Yeah, so I got there at about 8:30, and it was like
8:30 at night.
Yeah, so 8 in the evening. So it was 6 hours after my mom's place went mandatory.
And she didn't know where she was going. She didn't really want to go up north, so she called you dad, and actually, no, south was open at the time now.
Yeah, it was open finally.
So people were leaving south, and she decided that she was just going to leave the city. She
go that way.
said she didn't know where she was going at first. She was just leaving. And
She didn't even know where. She didn't tell us where she was going until we called after.
Yeah.
So I picked you up,
actually,
and I was
she
like,
wanted me to call. Yeah.
yeah. So looking north, you could just see it was bumper to bumper traffic. We're like, screw that, let's go south. And
Actually,
while
she
we were
called me
driving-
while I was at
yeah,
work.
while we were driving, we called her just to touch base, and she said she was going to her parents' house a couple hours south. So we're like, okay, well, we don't know where we're going, so
It's
we'll go
about
there too.
2 hours and 40-ish minutes.
Yeah, a little under 3 hours.
Yeah, a little under
So-
3 hours to get to.
From 8:30 when I picked her up.
It's Lac-Beaubiche is where we stayed. Is
Yeah,
where
it's a couple hours
her
south.
parents live.
So driving from there to City Wandering River, that I think normally only takes about.
As we'll post pictures as we were driving past everything. It was pretty scary.
Oh
It's-
yeah, that too. There was pictures of the hill burning. and
We
the
were
hotel.
driving very slowly. Yeah, we were pretty much bumper to bumper. Everyone was actually pretty calm driving. Everyone, it was actually doing pretty good. Everyone was kind of calm and just kind of slowly leaving. There was lots of people actually leaving, and there was lots of people going north.
Yeah, there was a lot of people jumping onto the northbound lane and just took off south, like going into oncoming traffic. But there was nobody coming up because the road was closed. But everybody was just trying to get
Yeah,
out.
no one was allowed into the city.
So it took us.
Nobody was allowed to pretty much go downtown. Nobody was allowed to go to their homes. They just had to leave. And
So it took us 7 hours to get to a place that's normally, I think, only an hour and a half away, if that. And it was
Wandering
3:30
River.
3:30 in the morning that we got there, and I had to.
we
pull
were
off-
almost running out of gas too.
Yeah,
It was like an apocalypse driving on the highway. tons of vehicles all over the ditch on both sides. People standing outside their vehicles. It was
A lot of people, like, it seemed like they thought they'd be able to turn around and just go back in, but
it was lots of people running out of gas, and I don't know how much people couldn't even grab their things. It was pretty sad. Like,
it was pretty bad. So at 3:30 we had to pull off the road, and I had to take a nap because I was exhausted.
yeah, and I was working that day, so I was already pretty exhausted. I was
So we
still
had to
in my
sleep
work clothes.
with
Like,
the 4 cats in the truck.
they were crying and they were upset, and good thing you had a litter box that was open for them to use.
We had to
And
stop and give them food and water just to make sure they weren't dehydrated. And we woke up in the morning. I only had 2
at
ticks
about
of gas.
6:30, so it was about 3 hours.
Yeah, we only took a 3-hour nap.
Because it's, you're sleeping in your truck.
Yeah, so we only had 2 ticks of gas left, and we just started heading south. It took us another 3 hours to kind of get close to where they lived, and we had to
Get gas.
pull into a little small town on the way just to get
The
gas.
light went on and everything, and we're like, shit, I
Like,
hope
I
we
was
could
in
make
line.
it.
I was in line for gas, and I was like, I'm gonna run out.
It took about half an hour to an hour because everyone.
There's a lot of people that pulled.
It
in
was
there,
a little town right before the other town we were going to be staying in.
which is also a little town.
Yeah. And everyone had the same idea as us. I thought we were kind of the few of going to that little town before and get gas there before
Yeah.
getting gas in the other town.
But-
And actually Wandering River and a few other places were running out of
Running out.
gas. Everyone was grabbing gas, so there wasn't that many places.
Pretty much like everything between our city and the capital ran out of gas that day.
yeah.
'Cause everybody coming through.
Everyone's running out of gas.
But we made it. We made it to my grandparents' house after that. 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the
About
morning.
11:30ish actually.
Yeah, had breakfast, unpacked some stuff, got in.
We were watching news and we were talking about everything, and it's all over the news.
It's
And
all they talked about for like the whole week.
And it was pretty terrifying. And someone, if you guys will post, try to post some links of some videos.
Yeah, I'll find some YouTube links for some of the good ones I'd
Yeah,
seen.
and someone was saying about karma and stuff. Like,
It's no point. There are a lot of people.
there's a lot of people saying rude things.
Yeah,
and
like it's our city's fault for fueling global warming because of the oil sites, but
There's a
that's-
lot of
that's
stuff,
there's
and
a
it was
lot
all
of
over the news and everything too.
Yeah,
And
kicking us while we're down.
your dad is stuck at one of the oil sites.
Yeah, like he's been on site for 30 years, and he was out there with his one change of clothes and had to work for like 8 or 9 days straight. And he'd have to shower and put back on his dirty clothes. Like,
And I texted your sister, and she was up north, and she wanted to come south. She wanted to leave the city, but they weren't allowing anybody to go enter the city.
yeah, it was too close.
So basically, the whole city was. Oh, and we called your mom on the road, and we were driving past all the fire and everything, and we were talking to her, and yeah, we didn't know where we're going. We literally had no idea where we're going, and I barely ate that day. I was starving. So on the
Yeah.
drive, we just ate some Lucky Charms.
Yeah, just handfuls of Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
'Cause that was the first thing we could grab from the bin.
There was. I don't even know where to start
Yeah,
after
it's-
this. Like, a lot
well,
happened.
it's, like everything, even like besides that, like we had a lot more stuff than a lot of people had, and we were with family, like in their house, and their house was pretty big. And we had a lot of room, so we had enough space in the basement for all of our cats to be running around. And my mom had her 2 dogs upstairs, and her sister and her husband and her 2 kids were there. And
Only temporarily because they were visiting your
Yeah,
mom
they-
at the time of the
they ended up
evacuation.
leaving like the week later, and then my mom's sister's friend and his girlfriend and their dog were downstairs for the first 2 days, but we had enough room that everybody was comfortable. We were fed. We were we had what we needed basically, so we didn't really have much to complain about. So even like going to the info centers to like pick up donations and stuff, like we didn't really need to take much, and we kind of felt bad doing it.
There was lots of donations, lots of help. People
there was a
actually
lot.
all over the world were helping.
Yeah, they raised a lot of money.
For the homeless people, they were able to get buses.
Yeah, they
the
got, like,
city
all the
buses,
homeless
yeah.
people out.
They got all the homeless people out. They were able to get everybody out of the hospital in time.
Yeah, they got the hospital cleared out. In
Some
time.
people refused to leave the city.
Yeah,
which
there's a
is
couple
their
people that
yeah,
stuck
it's their
behind.
choice. But no, they actually refused. Some people,
Yeah, as I said, it's their choice, but
yeah, because they thought, oh, it's okay, it's okay.
they thought
And
they could ride it out.
yeah, we know some people who've actually lost their homes,
Yeah,
and
some friends.
the winds carried the fire up north. So where everyone went to stay up north had to evacuate.
All those camps had to be evacuated after like
So-
the first week.
Yeah, actually a couple days after.
Yeah.
So we were glad we left the city at the time instead of going up north, getting stuck up there.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out where everyone's going to be staying up north. They said, just go up there and
If this camp's full, continue down the road. There will be another one.
yeah, everyone was very helpful.
They got-
Everyone
they
was
got-
pretty much calm. Everyone stayed calm.
Well, they were saying they got like 90,000 people out and
Yeah.
like no deaths.
Actually, it was about 80. They said 80
yeah,
at
but
first.
no injuries. There was no like.
There was an
actual car
accident.
Well,
Yes, there was.
that was the day after.
That was the day we were. That was the morning
but
after.
that wasn't in that city though. It was a different city. It happened.
It was on Highway 881.
Yeah, but it was in a different city.
It
Still.
wasn't in a city. It was just on the highway.
Yeah, but it was just outside. our
Anyways,
city.
it was just an a vehicle crash, and your mom knows them.
Yeah, apparently my mom knows the family. that-
A vehicle crashed into I think a
Semi or something
semi.
like that. We don't
There
know
was
the
a big
details.
explosion, and saw one of the daughters. It's a triplet, and she died
Yeah.
in the car. We're not sure of the names, and we're not going to post any names.
Yeah,
obviously,
I don't know the details.
yeah,
really,
we're not
so-
going to post any names or anything, but
So-
it was pretty terrifying, and we were surprised everyone was staying calm, and yet the highway was just filled with vehicles. And they said on the radio, because we were listening to radio on the drive, they said if you are feeling you're running out of gas, pull off to the side and wait there, and
They'll have fuel trucks come
yeah,
by.
there's some trucks coming by.
Jerry cans and
with
water.
jerry cans and stuff, and they're trying to help us out as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they had to evacuate everyone from north. And each little city or town has their
Recreation
yes
facilities.
center, and that's where people would stay.
Just
The people who
converted
didn't know
them.
where they were to stay.
Yeah. Until they found housing for them, basically.
Yeah. They said if you don't have a place to go, stay there. There's food, there's water. Lots of donations came in. Lots. Like,
It was
to the point
kind
where.
of ridiculous. Like they had to stop taking donations, and they were telling like if you don't even need stuff, like start taking.
Yeah,
stuff.
we didn't want to take anything at first because we went to one of there because the day that we got to your grandparents' house, you forgot to technically like bring essentials.
Yeah, there was a couple things I
So-
wasn't even paying attention
yeah.
to some things.
Well, it's when you're getting evacuated when the whole city is like burning.
I would grab one like towel or a piece of clothing and I'd put it in the bin, and then I would come back out to my computer and I would look at the news, and then I would go down the hallway and look out the back window and just see the wall of smoke and fire. Like I have a video on my phone. I'll see if I can put it on. Hopefully, but I have pictures like looking out our back
It's kind of a
window.
shitty video because it converted it to the text message because he sent.
When I sent it to you to see it, but
Yeah,
if it's coming from my phone, it should still be good quality. But yeah, like they were telling us to take stuff, and we kind of went in and we took a couple things here and there that we needed. Like I grabbed a
but
couple
there
new
was
pairs of
so many
socks.
people were donating stuff like old clothes, old shoes. Like people couldn't go home, so anything was better than nothing at the
Yeah.
time. Like they had nothing for their children. Like people could not go home at all, and there was videos that people had security cameras.
Yeah, people could like actually see what happened to their place. Like some people saw their place burned down. Like some people would just check their
The
stuff.
the one video camera where you said she grabbed her stuff and 20 minutes later her house burnt down.
Yeah, that's what I'd read.
Yeah.
Um,
There's lots of videos
Yeah,
all
there's
over the
tons
place.
of
Just
stuff.
search Fort McMurray Wildfire or YMM. And it's called The Beast because it's
it was huge.
I have a latest update of it now. It's about 581,956 hectares as of June 8th at 8:15 p.m.
5:15.
Yeah, sorry, 5:15 p.m. And it's in the Saskatchewan border now.
Yeah, it crossed over into the other province.
And there was, lots of donations, lots of help. People were donating stuff like crazy. People had no idea where they were going to live. There's help for emotional and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
there's...
I think they were saying that either 5 or 10% of the homes in the city burned down because of those like 3 big areas. So there's a lot of damage.
There's a lot of homes, but the major places they pretty much tried their hardest to save, like the hospital and the water treatment plant. They tried their hardest. Like, they kept getting firefighters coming in, 100
Yeah, there
more,
was more and
100 and
more
more
every
and more,
day.
and like they saved our city. They saved our
Yeah,
lives.
pretty
Like
much.
they worked there. There's pictures of them sleeping on the grass.
In the middle of the day. Just
Yeah, in the
from
middle of the
exhaustion
day,
for being
yeah.
awake for 48 hours. But yeah, like we were gone for over a month. Kind of bounced back and forth between there and
We
your-
spent some time in Edmonton
with your
with a few,
parents and stuff.
and a few friends,
visited
and
some people and all that. But we were watching updates all the time, so we knew our house was okay. Like it's in
there's
it's in an area that's just far enough away that I didn't even think we were actually gonna have that much smoke
they were
damage.
able to, after the fire kind of calm down, and well, not calm down, but kind of slow down in some of the areas. They were able to check which houses and kind of post kind of what areas, what street it happened on.
Yeah.
So they didn't mention anything on our street.
Yeah,
so
like
we
ours.
were-
Ours was good. We were always watching updates. Same thing for
And
my
your
parents'
mom's.
area. We could see pictures of the burn damage
And
after a while, and like what
people
places
kept
were
asking
gone.
questions on when we were going to return. There were still fires happening in the city, so I didn't understand why people are wanting to,
Come back so fast.
There was animal rescues. If you just
Left
go
an animal behind, like you give them permission to like break into your place and save them. Like
and our neighbor, they have
outdoor cats, and we actually had seen one of them online, and the lady that lives there actually like
found him.
claimed him though,
Yeah.
so they figured that
I
out.
don't know about the other one.
Yeah, we're not sure.
But we know of some people who've lost their homes. We're going to a wedding too in September, and to one of our friends, and
Their place burned down, so we're not even sure if they're
I
still
felt
doing
like
it.
crying when I heard that. I'm like, oh my god, like they're starting to settle in other places in the city, or in the other cities in the province. Some people are not returning home. Lots of people are returning home. We were able to, they did per section of the city, which
Yeah, it
was
was
less
kind of
damaged.
Phased re-entry.
Yeah, it's a phased reentry right now. And they had to
Our
wait.
area was up on the 2nd, so we could have came back, but we gave it a little bit more time just because we weren't too sure.
We are
like-
in a boil water advisory still right now.
Yeah,
which
we don't have clean water. Like we have to boil it or bleach. when
we
do
bought
dishes.
bottled water.
Yeah, but like we came home.
Some people have smoke damage, and they gave us lots of cleaning stuff.
Yeah,
Red
some
Cross
people's
is
fridges,
helping, and
If your power was out in your house, they'd want you to throw out your fridge because it was full of rotten food. Like
our fridge is not bad. Our house is not really.
yeah, we got home 3 days ago.
Monday.
Monday. So we came home and we opened up the door because I wanted to come in and just check before letting the cats back in. And you could smell smoke.
in the
It was just
air.
lingering a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. So we got them inside and we were kind of just walking around and checking. Like the fridge smelled kind of gross because there was vegetables in there. But my dad had been in here 2 days before and had thrown a bunch of it out for us. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been. But we have laundry in the living room that was in a basket that still smelled clean from before we left, and our mattress sheets still smelled clean, so like it hadn't even soaked into that. So just after we got some groceries and we came back and we cleaned out the fridge and refilled it, like it's more or less okay. So we didn't even really lose anything in the end except
Yeah, nobody.
for a month
Yeah.
of time.
I think the only injury actually in the city was someone actually scraped their knee. I think
Yeah,
they
they
were
were saying
running.
it was only minor, like a twisted ankle maybe.
Yeah.
But
So really, the only thing major that someone actually got hurt was that accident on the highway.
supposedly there's been a couple other cases of I don't know if people killed themselves in camp or not. I'm pretty sure
We're not sure about.
Yeah, I don't want to comment on that, but
there's lots of stories going on. We're not sure if they're true or not. It's like
Yeah.
lots of people are saying stuff.
a lot of
So
details. But for us, like, we're back here now. We wanted to kind of just get everything more or less cleaned up and kind of comfortable before continuing doing this again, because it's not that it's, you know, a burden or anything, but it's just now we're kind of a little bit more comfortable, so it's easier for us to kind of dedicate the time to this. I don't know when we're going to be returning to work.
we should probably.
We got a couple more things to deal with around the house and
And we
stuff,
want to get
but-
back into a normal routine first.
Yeah.
It is actually 2:00 in the morning on Thursday.
So it's, we've been up late, and I'm probably still going to be up for another 2 hours after this.
There's some flare ups still going. I don't know what stuff they use to all that white stuff they put on all the homes.
It's just stuff to keep the
Yeah,
toxic
there's-
dust from blowing off.
There's actually some smoke in the air today. Well, I
Yeah,
guess
we could
earlier.
smell it. It was
yeah.
pretty smoky out today. But yeah, like
There's lots of the grocery stores are open. Like they were saying, like not it was only going to be basic necessities, but
yeah,
they are
it's not
trying to
doing
get
too
everything back up and running as soon as
bad.
possible.
Grocery stores are pretty well
The
stocked.
hospital is not
Fully done.
fully functional, so they don't want people who have breathing problems or
Kids, like if something happens to them, they don't really have a place to take them.
yeah. So that's why they said this is voluntary.
Like
Like
we're
this
still
is your
technically
choice.
under an evacuation order.
Yeah.
That doesn't get lifted till the hospital's back up and running 100%.
And I think they said that will be back up and running by June 30th.
I thought it was 20th. I don't know.
21st, I think,
21st,
actually, yeah.
So it's a little bit.
They
yet,
were saying
but-
that the boiled water was going to be, I think, was June 30th, but they're trying to do it in 10 days
Well,
now.
no, they're saying that it's actually going a little bit faster than they were expecting, and not as many people have returned, so it's not as much of a stress on the system. So it's going to be back up a little quicker.
Yeah, not everyone's going to be returning. Lots of people who have lost their homes. Some people have lost their animals.
Yeah.
Some animals were not able to be rescued.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories and stuff.
There's lots of. It's sad. When we were driving back into the city, before the city, it's still a forest on both sides.
Yeah,
you
you
could
just
see
big
when it was
patches.
starting to happen. All the trees are black. From all the ash and everything is starting to grow nice and green again.
Yeah, like
all
our
the
lawn
lawns.
was ridiculous. Like I'll put pictures of that too if I remember. It was like up to almost to your belly button in some spots.
The picture does not show it, no, but
Yeah, it was pretty tall in the backyard, especially.
there's still help for the people who have lost their homes. We were able to get some money because this happened in Slave Lake back in 2011. This exact same thing, just
Yeah,
obviously
city lit
not
on
as
fire.
big. Yeah, just not as big, obviously.
Yeah.
But lots of help happened with them, and lots of help is happening with us, especially for the people who've lost everything. They're trying to do temporary housing for them, and everyone's figuring everything out. And
Yeah. It's like even being out, you can tell that there's not as many people around.
there's fridges outside people's,
Down at the end of the driveway.
down at the end of the driveway. They're not doing, because the whole city does recycling. And they said right now they're not doing residential recycling right now. They're just saying
Every bin is just garbage. Like if you have stuff, like it just
we
needs to be
had to
thrown
throw out not a lot of food, but
out. Yeah.
some stuff.
Yeah, so,
It was pretty terrifying, and every day we were looking at the news.
yeah,
every day
the first couple days it was really sickening. Like you'd wake up
to
in the
this
morning.
point where you would almost puke, like
Well,
your city's burning
no,
down. like-
not even that. I mean, like you'd wake up.
well,
in the
you
morning.
you felt like you were
yeah,
going to.
but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'd wake up in the morning when we were gone, and we would go to check the updates, and you would not know, like overnight, did your house burn down? So like just waking up in the morning, and then
That's the
seeing
first thing
seeing-
we'd check,
seeing
is
the
if our house
updates
is
every day
there,
just to
yeah.
make sure it was still here. Like it was
And
fun.
if we knew, like, we probably would not be doing this. Obviously, we would know what we'd be doing if
Yeah,
our
we would
places.
have had a lot more stuff to focus on than this.
I figured that if our house was gone, we probably would not come back to the city.
Yeah, we would have just moved. We wouldn't have really had any reason.
Because we weren't working out at site, so it's
Yeah.
not, And
But-
we don't really have careers. We just
Yeah.
have jobs, so it's not like you have lots of
You're not
people.
stuck.
Some people have lost their jobs. Not a lot of people. Just about the few places that have burned. Most of the city is still intact. Like the whole city is not gone. It's just
we're doing
it's most it's something just in the neighborhoods. Some of them
Yeah.
around the edges of the city.
Yeah. So. I don't know. There's a lot that
Yeah,
still
you
needs to
guys,
be
if
done.
you wanted, because obviously we cannot post any pictures or videos of other people's stuff. So, if you do want to check them out, just go to just type in Fort McMurray wildfire
2016.
Yeah,
There's
a lot.
it's ridiculous.
It's sad. There's some people posted some good pictures because some people were able to after the fire kind of calmed down. Some people were able to return to check their businesses, and they were able to come back early to be able to get everything up and running, and people were able to drive around parts of the city. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of people.
It was
they were.
mostly just news people.
Yeah, so some people were, and some people didn't even leave. So those people
Yeah.
definitely posted videos, and they're driving by all the burnt homes, and
Yeah. So.
everything was. There's a really good video you guys have to see. It's not a good video, but
It'll be probably one of the first ones that'll show up if you look for it.
it was definitely on the news. Someone was driving by and they had a dash cam and there was
Yeah,
embers
shows
and
like
everything.
basically like a before and after of the different areas.
There's one video of embers flying in the air and
Yeah,
touching
it's like
their
basically
truck.
just raining fire. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't
it
even
was like
look
rain.
real.
Yeah,
And even we were in it, and it still doesn't fully seem real.
no,
Like-
it's there's not much fire now.
It's burned everything basically around the
They
city.
they said that safety's first. They wouldn't allow us to come back if there was
Yeah.
if it was immediate threat.
So yeah, I don't know. We're back. We
Let's see what else there is for the update.
there's just a lot of fires around still, but
Oh,
they're
there's
not
2,794 firefighters right now.
support staff here.
147 helicopters, 16 tankers, and 233 pieces of heavy equipment battling fires across the province.
Yeah, like they brought in a lot. But I mean, we're here now. We're mostly comfortable. We got.
I don't even know how to feel, how grateful we are right now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, we obviously
it's
haven't.
a miracle for
Yeah,
us.
we haven't been able to do much for this channel the entire time because we didn't have the mic with us.
And we weren't really in the mood to
Yeah.
be
we were playing some games and stuff, but it was just kind of for our own time.
try to keep
so-
us kind of distracted of everything
Yeah.
that's going on.
Yeah, so like we're back here now. We recorded a little bit tonight. I'll be putting this up alongside with a couple more Resident Evil, and in the next couple days, like it'll kind of be obvious.
Speaking of Resident Evil, yeah,
oh yeah, the other thing with that.
Eric is going to be moving. He
has moved. He's
Yeah,
not, he's
well,
not really coming back.
He's coming back to grab some things. I don't know if he
later in the month.
Yeah. So he's after Resident Evil. We guys are not going to be able to finish it.
Yeah, we have I think 7 or 8. We're
He
definitely not
decided
done it.
he's not going to stay here, and he found a job in another city, so it's good for him.
Yeah, he's got something to do now.
Yeah,
but
he's doing good, but
if he comes back up, we might see if we can get him to come in and finish it. But like for the time being, I'll just put up a couple of those. Like me and him are having fun recording that. So, so we'll be putting this up. We'll be continuing
but it's
like
just
Donkey Kong.
pretty much just gonna be us two.
Yeah, from now on, more or less.
What
We
you, like,
I was gonna say like we bought a couple games and stuff that.
Oh, I have them over here.
Yeah, we'll be playing those later after.
we have some surprises for you guys.
There's a couple of fun things we've got planned.
we gotta plan them.
Yeah, they'll be spaced out accordingly.
Yeah.
But more or less, when we were gone, I just kind of stayed on Twitter and kept
Trying to keep
trying to make sure
that we're still here.
we were still present. And
Yeah, we're still
there's
here.
A bunch of other small YouTubers and stuff was kind of trying to cross promote with them, like kind of give them some support while we can't really do anything, just stuff like that. But we're back now. We can
Yeah.
more
We
or
thank
less
you
cut-
guys for being so patient with us.
Yeah, we
We were kind of having a rough month. It was
yeah, it's been
pretty scary.
It's been a tough year, more or less.
Your mom, I still remember your mom when we called her, saying when she drove by Super 8 in Avison.
Through
she
downtown, she was saying.
Yeah, through downtown, she was just crying, like, in
Yeah,
tears.
because there's fire on the side of the road. So.
Yeah, there was fire, literally. Like, the road ends probably by the end of this couch. You guys can't see it, but there was fire not that far from us. It was, and we were driving really slowly, so we were able to kind of glance around.
Yeah.
And I was able to take pictures.
Yeah, so.
They're not very good pictures because once you hit the bridge to go downtown, it is completely, like, gray.
It was very dark for 8 o'clock. It was normally still pretty light out. But, I mean, we'll be kind of back to normal after this, so we can actually...
We're starting to get back into a normal routine now where we kind of got some things cleaned up. We got some laundry done. We got lots of food. We spent like $500 worth of groceries.
Yeah, having to kind of restock.
And yeah, there's lots of support. I'm not sure if people are still taking donations for anything.
I don't think they are really. Well, not for. I'm not sure. I don't want. I can't.
But if there still are, you guys obviously are more than welcome to donate. I'm not saying you guys have to, but if you want,
it's all goes to the Red Cross.
Yeah, if the Red Cross, yeah. It was very terrifying, I must say. And lots of people are. We know not quite a few, but we know some people.
Yeah.
My friend, she and her daughter, they've lost their place, and when I heard her say that, I pretty much almost wanted to cry. Like, her place and her is gone.
Yeah.
And I know this one girl from high school, her parents lost her house, and she thought that, or her parents thought that it was just everything was gonna be okay, so they only grabbed a bag worth of clothes.
And then their place burnt down,
yeah,
like completely.
And they had a cat. No one's heard of the cat.
Don't know where it is. So.
They're posting pictures if anyone was able to rescue the cat. And speaking of rescue, there's still lots of animals that are rescued that
unclaimed.
They're unclaimed. People are not claiming their animals for some reason, and it's just so sad.
So, I mean, keep an eye out tomorrow. I'll have more videos up tomorrow.
Technically today.
Yeah, I guess in 10 hours, hopefully, if everything's actually on track. It might be a little late, I'm not sure. But we'll leave it there.
We're starting to get everything back in order. Our sleeping schedules are kind of
off. So our upload schedule might be a little bit off too.
But we thank you guys for your patience and...
Yeah, so that'll be it. So everybody take a shot, like, button, scroll below.
And subscribe to see more tomorrow. Bye.